Hello to everyone. We are on the step 2 in our program of discovering how our deepest values can help us gain inner balance, inner integrity, and also a beautiful and healthy way of outer life. Through finding our deep values, we are becoming more and more balanced inside of ourselves, and really we can find the source of our I and source of life, which will enliven our deepest values, and through the deepest values will enliven our thinking, our speech, and our behavior, our actions in our lives. So our thinking will become something that matters, something that makes difference for us and for other people, and our speech will make a change, and our actions will help us to grow and to expand. And everything, these beautiful qualities, everything begins from us and begins from our first step when we begin to discover the inner deepest values. It was, I will show it to you. It was, we were talking about it, through this diagram. So we have thinking, we have speech, we have actions, and these all can be disturbed by the not true values, which could be a lot of inside, maybe 99%, and they're like in the shadow, but they disturb from this shadow our thinking, our speech, our behavior, and so we feel that we are in a war with ourselves, and this war doesn't stop, and we waste so much energy and so much time inside and in trying something, struggling to try something outside, but we don't get inner results and we don't get outer results. Not because our thinking, speech, or actions cannot be a good tools, because they are disturbed. And we, of course, can fight with 99% of not true values, which inside of us and which make us struggle and which make our inner war. But we can go to the 1%, to the really true deepest values. And when we find something true, 99% which is not true, it just cannot exist in us. So the best way is to go strictly and directly and go deep to the existence, to the depth of our inherent and natural, deep, healthy values. And we were talking that we have 4 healthy, deep values inside of us. It is justice and fairness, it is willpower and transformation, it is intelligence and understanding, and it is a family life and a law to family life, which is makes us to be creative, make creative work. So we have it all inside of us, and all these values are important, but which one is the one which is working for you like a key? Because through this one, you open your source of I, which is connected to source of life. And when we have found the source of life inside of us, it begins to support this our I, the source of I. The source of I begins to support our, if we are a person of willpower, and enliven through the willpower our justice, our family life, and our intelligence. And so we have like a 4 legs of a horse, which make the horse balance, but which also can be transformed in the movement of horse. So out of this balance we have through movement and through change in our thinking, in our speech, and in our actions and in our life. So it is the step one to discover it, to talk about it, to gain some basic knowledge and understanding about it. And really, we will work on this on the fourth step. But now we will be talking with you with some special tool which is helpful in this direction and which can be very helpful in this direction. It is called a clear thinking. So clear thinking is a special kind of thinking which helps us in this direction and which helps us in this direction. So it is good for our outer life, and it is also good for our inner life. So what we need to improve our clear thinking, to gain this special tool, we need to exercise it, because when we exercise our thinking, the thinking becomes clear. What exercise means, I will read, because the English is not my native language. My native language is Ukrainian, and so I'm now only developing myself in the applying and using English language in the proper way. So I wrote some definitions. Exercise and thinking. So what exercise means? It is activity carried out for a specific purpose. Exercise also is when we use or apply our faculty, right, and ability. And I wrote for myself that faculty means inherent mental or physical powers. So we have to apply our powers, our physical and mental qualities and powers, and use it the proper way. So this means to exercise. And when we not apply our thinking to our life, or to maybe solving some specific problems, we do not exercise it. And when we do not exercise, we don't have muscles, we don't have strength. So we also can exercise the muscles of our thinking, and we have to know it to do it. And in this lesson, we just like using attention to enliven it for ourselves, because usually we do not exercise our thinking. Thinking is also a thought that is characteristic, particular features and qualities. So to make your thinking more strong and more clear, be ready to find some characteristics about some subject. Maybe this cup is a blue, it's not big, and it has round here, and it has some special characteristics to it. And when you begin to think about this cup and enliven these qualities and characteristics, your mind, your thinking will be more strong and more clear about it. So it is important to know that thought is a characteristic. It is real thinking is like this. So search for some characteristics. Person who is thinking, this person values the truth and identifies flaws. It is very important when we begin to think, really think, clearly think, we will identify some flaws deep inside of us, and we also will identify the truth. And if we are coherent to the source of life, to the source of I, if we are coherent to our deepest values or not, and so it will be like putting us in a good straight inner line. And when it will become like we become aligned through this, when we think and we value the truth, we will find the truth, and we will discover something which is not coherent, which has some flaws, and we will release this, and we will feel much more fresh and free because of this process. And also the thinking has tools. We have tools of thinking, we have experience, we have recognition, we have reason, invention, experimentation, and intuition. All of these are the tools of thinking, and please use it, and your thinking will be exercised and it will be more clear. So when you look at the glass, you can at the cup, you can exercise the tools of thinking. You can gain some experience about it. You can invent some possibilities how it can be used. So you can take coffee in this. You can take water in this. You can also use it to like a stand to put something on top of it. You can use it to roll, and you can use it to represent maybe yourself. So sometimes it is very good to use some objects to represent something, maybe yourself, and put it outside of you and objectify it. And this cup can help you understand that you have like inner volume, but you have many layers. And uh, and you can use it like to say, okay, this is I have inner life, and so I have some outer appearance. I'm like this cup, and you put it, and there is something around me. Maybe I have here my car keys, so this can represent your professional. If you're professional in sport, you have your job, and this pen can represent it. And you begin to exercise your thinking by experiment and by putting these objects outside of you, and just to look out of situation clearly. So I'm here, I'm doing sports like this, and I have my job, and it takes so much time. So how I can manage all of this if I need to prepare maybe for some championship? So can I put my job here, and can I like make more close to myself my exercise, physical exercise, and which exercise I need to do? You specify it, you make characteristics, what I want to gain out of this exercise, and maybe like with this car keys, what I need to do, which button to put to open up my training, what I need to do to close, the loss maybe of time, or maybe the energy. How can I close something? So maybe I lose energy on some food, so can I close it like I do it in my car? And what I can open up. So I'm just showing what you can do to exercise your thinking. So and this exercise, like a cup exercise, could be good because if you do it with just one object a day for 5 minutes, you will see in few days that your thinking become more strong and more clear and more effective. And you will just see it, it is natural. And so you can use this exercise to help yourself. Also, it is important to consider things carefully. So thinking is a kind process. It has some love in it. It has some care. And when you think about yourself, or maybe your life with care, you will begin to consider, you begin to see more, you begin to find some characteristics, and so you're exercising thinking. Also, I would like to talk with you about what clarity means. The clarity means that like clearness of appearance, the clarity of the mountain air. So it is good that in our exercising of thinking we gain clarity, and we will feel it like the mountain air inside of us. We will feel fresh and enlivening air out of this, and clearness helps us help our well-being and health. Mental clarity is a state of mind in which you are more focused and more focused, and your perception is clear. With mental clarity, you are able to recognize, understand, and organize your thoughts. Mental clarity is important for your health and well-being. Also, mental clarity means being well explained and easy to understand, and it is precision, a high degree of exactness, strictly, correctly, in very limited way. So to be clear, it means to be exact in something. And I would like to share with you a sentence from Bruce Lee, which can give you a key to practice thinking, and especially the clear thinking, to practice exactness. So when you exactly know something, you become very, very clear in it. And Bruce Lee once said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So it means that if you really define something and begin to practice it like a one kick, but at 10,000 times, this kick will become like a laser, laser, sharp, and so strong and so clear to you. And if it is clear to you, it will become clear to others. And so this is a really tool. You can become a laser sharp in your thinking. And this inner laser sharpness, this attention, this it means like it goes in limited way, but it makes you unlimited. So sometimes to be more strong in and clear in your thinking, you have to limit the possibilities, many different possibilities, and just find the one. Like with our values, just find the one out of 4 which is yours, and it will change everything. It will make other 3 strong, and it will make all your thinking, all your speech, and all your many actions in life more strong and more enlivened with force of life. So sometimes we have to limit like many possibilities which make us indecisive, and just decide, I will stick to this for some time, and be very attentive, laser sharp, and find a truth about it, and you will gain clear thinking. So you can think about this phrase, and also you can practice one movement. It comes from Angelis Erinen, the work of Angelis Erinen. She was studying indigenous people and some existential wisdom, and she found very interesting movements which are true, and which are the movements of existence, and to everyone it is true, it is really helpful movements, and you can practice this one movement. It consists of 2 movements, and it will help you in this program, and it will help you with thinking, and it will be helping you to define your values. So this movement is like a movement of our breathing. It means that we make a movement of expanding, and we can say word I expand, and then we are moving and we contracting and defining our limits and just defining something. So I expand and define. I expand and contract. I expand and define my limitations to expand. So when we are defining something, it helps us to make a movement of expansion. And when we expand, we cannot just expand and expand. We cannot just breathe in. We have to breathe out and breathe in. So when we expand, the next level of expansion is to define. So you can make this movement and you can think about something important for you, maybe your sport practice, if you're doing sports, and first you say it, and then you can be in silence and just think. So what I need to decide, what I need to define now for myself, which limits I need to see to make expansion in my practice of this specific sport. So I define and expand. I expand and define. And I think this movement, if you practice it, because we understand through the movement, we think through the movement, will help you, because the thinking is really taking a responsibility on yourself for the change. And so your thoughts, real thoughts, they make some change and difference for you, and they have some movement, and your words can make a change and your actions can make a change. So we have to be with something which has a movement inside of it and which changes. Because when we do movement, when we think, when we define, when we find some characteristics, when we invent something, when we look at it from different angles, so it makes change, it makes some movement, and movement makes us healthy and clear. If something is not pure and clear, it means that it is in stagnation, it is not moving, and it is like a lake which becomes like very fuzzy and very like full of dirt lake. But when a river goes, river is moving, and the river, especially the mountain rivers, they are very fresh and very clear and very strong. So make your thinking like a river, like a mountain river. Move. Let your inner thoughts be full of movement, full of change, full of difference, and you will see the difference yourself. Thank you very much for your attention, and would be happy to meet you in the third step.